and welcome to this special KUBS broadcast covering the semifinals of the Northeast 2B District Tournament. We're at West Valley High School and ready to watch the Lind-Ritzville Sprague Broncos face off against the Davenport Gorillas. Eyes are wide open to see which team will be advancing to the final round and making the trip to state. I'm Haley Bolliard, and with me is Mason Hay, and we're just going to get rolling right into the pregame show. So, Mason, what can we expect to see from the Broncos tonight?
Well, they are coming in with that 18-6 record overall and 7-3 in district, with their most recent game being against St. George, where they won on Wednesday with that score being 61-39.
Yes, so with that, we can see that the Broncos typically score in the 40 to 60 point range. They had a really good game there on Wednesday, so I'm excited to see what they can bring on here today.
Yeah, definitely a real good, stronger team on defense. Not saying their offense isn't that bad, but definitely a strong team on defense there.
Yeah, and on that offensive side on Wednesday, we saw Zoe Galbraith outside of the arc, and she was on fire. You could not get her slowed down when she stepped outside of the arc there, so I am excited to see what maneuvers she'll pull out here tonight.
Yeah, the Broncos are definitely going to need to focus on keeping the tempo up without allowing many turnovers.
Yeah, and with keeping the tempo up, they're going to need good endurance. And during Wednesday's game, we saw this team come out stronger in the second half, so I'm excited to see if they can do that again here today.
Yeah, kind of odd for them because usually they're a first half team and they kind of slow down during the second half, but it's really good to see that they can even tempo now.
Yeah, for sure.
And they are definitely good aggressively and like to put up tight pressure on offense.
Yes, for sure. I love seeing the defensive pressure and what kind of situations they can get the other team into here. And so with that look at the Broncos, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll go through what to see from the Davenport Gorillas. So stay tuned on 91.5 Cubs FM. And welcome back to the pregame show. I'm Haley Bolliard, and joining me is Mason Hay. We have 7 minutes left before the game starts. After taking some time and discussing Lind-Ritzville Sprague, we're going to look at Davenport. Mason, what are we going to see?
Well, the Gorillas do have an 18-5 record overall, with that being 9-4 in district.
Yeah, and this team did lose to Northwest Christian, which is the top team in our league on Wednesday, with the score of 54-38. So that was a pretty good game there for the Gorillas despite the loss.
Yeah, definitely a good team with Northwest Christian there, and they really battled, and not that big of a deficit there. But Davenport is definitely offensive focused and able to put points up on the board quickly.
Yeah, that is for sure. They get them racked up pretty early on in the game, which I think can be kind of intimidating for the other team, so that's good for them there. And they do have a strong transition offense. They're working on pushing that ball and capitalize on making the other team give them some turnovers.
Yeah, looking defensively, they can definitely apply pressure and force teams into rush shots, which is really good for a defense to do.
Yes, and this team currently is sitting second overall in their league and looking to make their trip to state here this year. So pretty intense game here for the Gorillas.
Yeah, definitely a very aggressive and physical team, which does help their defense, but they will need to watch those fouls and not get in foul trouble, especially when applying pressure.
Yeah, we've seen them have some difficulties with that in the past, so I'm excited to see, with this being such a high-stakes game, what differences they'll make there. And so stay tuned on Cubs FM to see how each team is going to match up before tip-off. We'll be right back after this short break. Win Show. Again, I'm Haley Bolliard, and with me tonight is Mason Hay, getting a good look at both teams. What is this game going to look like here tonight?
Yeah, definitely going to look for a tempo battle here with Lind-Ritzville preferring that controlled pace while Davenport likes to push in transition.
Yeah, for sure. And so with that, turnovers will be key for this game. Davenport thrives off of forced mistakes. And so Lind-Ritzville going to need to be really careful with that one and making sure that they don't let them get that advantage.
Yeah, Lind-Ritzville likes to play that half-court defense versus the transition offense of Davenport. We're going to see how well that one plays out there.
Yeah, for sure. And the three-point shooting here could be a big factor tonight, especially if Lind-Ritzville Spray gets hot early. Because like I said on Wednesday, that's how they were. They came out strong early on and were just able to kind of hold that lead and let them motivate them forward. So if they can do that again here tonight, this could be a very entertaining game.
Yeah, physicality is going to be a pretty big part of this game with Davenport's aggressive play style versus the Lind-Ritzville's disciplined defense. It's going to be a pretty good matchup there.
Yes, and with that aggressive play, foul trouble may impact Davenport if they get too pressure heavy on the defense. And every time they send the Broncos to the free throw line, that is an extra opportunity for them to get some more points on. So that could really turn the game around.
Yeah, second half endurance is definitely going to be big, especially for Lind-Ritzville, who showed strength late in their last game. But like we said, usually they're a pretty good first half team, and we're really happy to see that they've really come out of their shell, I guess to put it, and for that second half, and hope to see that carry over into this game.
Yes, for sure. And so with that second half endurance that we're talking about, bench depth and energy could swing the momentum in a tight semifinal game like this one, because having your main players out there all night long just going, they will get tired. So having the capacity on your bench to sub some players in and let those key players get a break will be vital here. And so with that, we have just 1 minute and 25 seconds left on the clock. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back for tip-off. And welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. We are ready to get this game kicked off and started here. And so we have the Davenport Gorillas versus the Lind-Ritzville Spray Broncos here. Lind-Ritzville will be the guest team here tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started with their starters first. So first up, we have number 1. This is a senior guard standing at 5'8". She was the one getting all those threes the other day. That's Zoe Galbraith. Then first up here for the Gorillas, we have number 11. This is a sophomore guard at 5'5", Charlotte Soliday. Next up here for the Broncos, we have the twin, number 2. This is a senior playing the guard and forward position, standing at 5'9", Sage Galbraith. Then we're going to move down to number 12. This is a senior guard at 5'6", Sam Stiles. Up next here for the Broncos, we have number 13, a junior post standing at 6'2", Rose Feedy. Then next up here for the Gorillas, we have number 13, a senior guard at 5'7", Glenna Soliday. Up next for the Broncos, we have number 20. This is a freshman forward at 5'9", Zoe Mendez. Then next up here for the Gorillas, we have number 23, a senior post at 5'7", Addie Schneider. Rounding out the lineup here for the Broncos, we have number 24, a junior playing guard and forward at 5'6", Ali Mendez. And last up here for the Gorillas, we have number 34, a senior post at 6'3", Claire Lathrop. All right, so Mason, go ahead and take this one away.
All right, so now that we got stars out of the way, you know what time it is.
I know what time it is. I love what time it is. We get to play the jump circle game. I want to go with Davenport today. No reason why, I just feel like it.
Well, I'm going to go with Lind-Ritzville then.
All right, well, we'll see who goes into the jump circle to begin with here. Looks like Lind-Ritzville will be sending Feedy, and we got Lathrop from the Gorillas, so I got a good feeling about this one.
All right, well, we'll see. Best man wins here.
Yes, that is true. They have pretty similar heights, it looks like, out there.
Yeah, I think that Feedy is standing about that 6'2", so yeah, similar there. A ball is up,
yes.
Rebounded by, or not rebounded there, kicked back by the Gorillas here. Now driving down to that right corner there. Pass kicked back out, intended for Styles, but that's no good through her hands. And now the Broncos to inbound. We have Galbraith taking it down, gives it to Feedy, and tries to get the pass back, but almost stolen away, but recovered by the Broncos. Now taking it down that right wing there, back up to Feedy at the top of the key, and gives it over to Galbraith. Galbraith tries to kick it down, but that's stolen away by the Gorillas. And now on a fast break here, shot is up from Lathrop, and that is good from the right block there, bringing the score 2-0 with 7:11 left in this first quarter. So now the Broncos looking to respond. Three from that left corner there. That one's no good, rebounded by the Gorillas. So now taking it down court here, gives it over to that right wing, tries to kick it down to the paint there, but just met by a pile of Broncos there and stolen away. So now taking it down to that right wing there, and now almost, and that shot will be good from that right short corner there. But there is going to be a foul there.
Yeah, so we have a foul called here against Styles for her first team foul for the Gorillas, to be sending Mendez to the stripe for an and one call here.
Yep, as we said, Ali Mendez at the stripe there for that and one shot. No good. Bounced off the back of the iron in the front, but still just can't find its way in. Rebounded by the Gorillas. So now in the paint, shot is up, no good. Rebounded by the Gorillas still. Now another rebound from the Gorillas. Now kicking out to that right wing there. And now trying to get it, and shots up from that left short corner there. Good from Styles for bringing the score 4-2 with 5:58 left in the first. So Broncos looking for a response here. Gives it out to Galbraith. Sage Galbraith, that is. Kicks it down to her sister Zoe on that left block there, and tries to go up, but gets it blocked, but right back to her, and gives it over to that right short corner there. Shot is up, no good, and looks like struggle for the ball in the left corner, and that one's going to be out on the Broncos, giving possession over to the Gorillas. So the Gorillas to inbound, now taking it down court, passing that Eagles logo, and out to top of the key, over to that right wing, and almost out of bounds, trying to kick it back over to that left corner here, but rebounded. Now in the paint, shot is up, no good.
Yeah, we have a foul called up here to be going against the Broncos. That's accredited to Zoe Mendez for her first personal and the first team foul here. So now we'll be going to the charity strike.
So now that's going to be Addie Schneider for 2 shots here from the stripe. And first one's up, no good, off the front of the iron there. So now looking for her next shot, gets the ball, and second shot is up. And that one almost in, but bounced off the back of the iron and rebounded by Feedy. Now giving it to Galbraith. Out to the corner, up for 3, and just off that front of the iron there. No good, rebounded by Davenport. With Davenport taking it down the court, giving it over to Soliday. Soliday up for 3 from that right wing there, but no good. Now the Broncos trying to get a response, but shots up from inside the paint, no good, but we're going to draw a foul up on that play.
Yeah, that goes against Ali Mendez for her first personal, the Broncos' second team foul.
So Davenport to inbound from their baseline here, giving it, or not their baseline, Broncos baseline, giving it over to the, back up to the top of the key, kicks it down to that elbow there, and tries to kick it back into the paint, but blocked and stolen away by Feedy. Now driving down the court, gives it to Mendez, and Mendez just going up for 2 from that right block there, bringing the score 4-4 with 4:10 left in the first quarter. So now Soliday on that left corner there, and tries to get up, but no good. Rebounded by the Gorillas, and now kicks it back over to Soliday, down into the paint for Lathrop, and that shot's no good, and almost stolen away, or is stolen away there, and gives it down to Mendez, up for 2 there from inside the paint, bringing the score 4-6 with 3:28 left in the first. Soliday on that left wing, tries to kick it cross court, stolen away, and that's going to be Sage Galbraith going with that fast break, and that shot is good, bringing the score 8-4 with 3:17 left, but we're going to get a quick timeout, so we're going to take a quick break. And welcome back to this special KUBS basketball broadcast. And score being 4-8 with 3:17 left in this first quarter. And looks like we're going to have the Gorillas inbounding here from the baseline. And now driving down court, kicks it out to that right corner. Now back up to the top of the key for Soliday, and gives it over, back, tries to kick it back to that right corner, and given 2, back into the paint, up for 2 from that right block. That one will go in, bringing the score 6-8 with 2:48 left. So now ball tipped out of bounds by the Broncos here, or excuse me, by the Gorillas here and giving it over to the Broncos. Now Broncos making fast break here. And Galbraith tries to go for that reverse layup, but just can't get that one to fall. Rebounded by the Gorillas. Now getting over to Soliday on that right wing here. Back up to the top of the key to sister Charlotte. Now up for two, up from inside the paint, almost near that left elbow there. Shot is up good, bringing the score 8-8 with 2:11 left in this first quarter of action. So now Galbraith kicks it out to her sister. Galbraith driving into the paint and goes up for it, and Feedy with the rebound and gets the and one call, bringing this with her shot going in, bringing the score 8-10 with 1:59 left.
Yeah, that's the second foul called on Styles, and that will also be the second team foul here.
So Feedy for and one shot, no good off the back of the iron. Rebounded by the Broncos though. So now Galbraith sitting on that right wing there. Drives back up to the top of the key. Tries to kick it over to her teammate, but stolen away by the Gorillas. So now Lathrop, shot is up, no good, rebounded. Now Soliday giving it back to Lathrop. Lathrop from inside the paint. She does get that one to fall, bringing the score 10-10 with 1:29 left in the first quarter. So now we have Sage Galbraith coming down the court. Gives it to her sister Zoe. Zoe from inside the paint, up for a quick floater there. That one will sink, bringing the score 10-12 with 1:12 left in the first. So now the Gorillas here taking it down. Gives it to Soliday. Soliday seeing about on that right side here. Kicks it back down over to Styles. And Styles gives it over to Soliday. Soliday up for two there, bringing the score 12-12 with 40 seconds left in the first. And now looks like just getting a little too aggressive there from inside the paint here.
Yeah, foul called against McCall Styles for her first personal and their third team foul. And we also have Taylor Lebret checking into the game for the Gorillas.
So now we have the Broncos inbounding on their baseline here. The baseline here, and gives it over to her sister, back up to the top of the key, Sage Galbraith. Now kicking it down to Mendez. Mendez up for two, but rebounded by Feedy. Feedy with that putback shot, and she gets that one to fall, bringing the score 12-14. So looks like there was a quick sub coming in for the Broncos here.
Yeah, go ahead. They're going to be bringing Lobe back into the game here.
So now Davenport taking it down the court here. And with that being Soliday, gives it over to her sister, back up top of the key. Soliday up for three from that left wing there. That one will not fall, rebounded by the Broncos. So now we have, in that last couple seconds here, and just no final shot there. And so score after the first quarter action, 12-14, and we're going to take a quick break. And welcome back to this special KBS basketball broadcast. We're at West Valley High School, and we have the Davenport Gorillas taking on the Lind-Ritzville Sprague Broncos, with the score being 12-14 starting this second quarter here. So Broncos inbounding, gives it over to Mendez. Mendez kicks it down to Galbraith on that right block, up for two. That one will be good, bringing that score 12-16 with 7:45 left. So now Lantrop tries to go up for it, no good, rebounded by the Broncos. And now Sage Galbraith trying to get it in, kicks it out to Mendez, or no, that's Lobe there. And that one will not fall. So now Davenport trying to take advantage of this play here. Gives it over to LeBret. LeBret now gives it over to Ladra. And that one will be good, bringing the score 14-16 with 7:04 left in the second quarter here. So now a quick three from Zoe Galbraith, and that one will go right in there and bring that score 14-19 with 6:50 left in the second quarter here. And an immediate response from Soliday here, and from inside the three-point range here, bringing the score 16-19 with 6:37 left in the second quarter. So Zoe Galbraith trying to get a shot, but looks like just going to get a little too rough here, drawing up a foul.
Yeah, we have a foul called up here to be going against the Gorillas. That's on Charlotte Soliday for her first personal and their first team foul of the quarter.
So the Broncos to inbound, kicks it out to Mendez. Mendez now giving it over to Galbraith. And looks like inside the paint here, we're going to have a jump ball. And this one will favor the Gorillas. So now we have the Davenport inbounding, taking it down, crossing that not free throw line, center court there, and tries to get it, kicks it back out on that left wing there. No, Lathrop inside the paint, tries to get the shot up, no good.
And we also have a sub rolling in here for the Broncos. That'll be Ali Mendez.
So now the Gorillas to inbound from the baseline here. Gets it out. Quick three up from the Gorillas. No good. Rebounded with that offensive rebound here, though. And tries to kick it back over to Soliday. And Lathrop just caught up on that right block. Stolen away by Galbraith. So now Zoe Galbraith taking it down. And we're going to get a blocking foul here.
Yeah, the whistles have now entered the chat. We have a foul called against Zoe Galbraith with her first personal and the first team foul for the Broncos.
All right, if you say so. Now Davenport taking it down the court here and giving it over to Lathrop, and back up to the top of the key for Soliday. And now rebounded by the Broncos here, and gives it over to Galbraith. Galbraith from the top of the key here. That one's up for three. No good. Rebounded by the Gorillas here. Now kicks it back over to that right short corner here. But looks like we might get, we're going to get a foul on that play too.
Yeah, this one will be going against the Gorillas here. That's on Lathrop for her first personal and the second team foul for the Gorillas. So we also have Addie Schneider coming back into the game in place of McCall Stiles.
So now the Broncos taking it down, crossing that Eagle logo, gives it over to Lobe. And now Lobe gets that one stolen away, taken away by the Gorillas here. Now on that right corner here, gives it over to Lathrop. Now up for three from LeBret. No good. Tries to get that back into the key, stolen away by Galbraith. Gives it over to her sister, Zoe Galbraith, up for two from that right block here. And that one will go in, bringing the score 16-21. And now we're going to get a timeout on the court, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this. And welcome back to this special KUBS basketball broadcast. And looks like score being 16-21 with 4:20 left in the second quarter here. So we have the Gorillas to inbound. Soliday taking it down the court, middle of the court, crossing that Eagle logo, gives it over to Lathrop. Lathrop now coming down, gives it out, back up for three, a little too soft on that one. Just barely touching the front of the iron there.
Yeah, the confidence was there, but the gravity was not.
That is right. So now the Broncos to get the ball here, and looks like there was a double block by Lathrop there, but that one's going to still be out on the Broncos. So the Gorillas maintain possession here, and now gives it over to Soliday. Soliday looks back up to LeBret. Brett back into the key here. Gives it back out to Soliday on that right corner. Up for a quick floater from that right short corner. Gives it out to Lathrop there. And now giving up for a quick floater there, bringing the score 18-21 with 3:20 left in the first half. So now Sage Galbraith coming up to the top of the key, hands it off to her sister. Back out to the right corner from Sage Galbraith, no good. Shaw's up. And looks like substitution coming in for the Broncos.
They'll be bringing Zoe Mendez back into the game in place of Lobe.
So now we have Davenport taking it down the court. Gives it over to LeBret. LeBret back on that right wing here. Gives it to Soliday on that left wing now. Driving into the paint. But that one is stolen away. And now looks like there's going to be...
She just rolled out of bounds there right into the Gorillas bench.
Man. So, yep, that one is going to be in the favor of the Gorillas here. Now taking the ball, coming down, maybe a little anchored towards that left side more, but not much of a difference here. Soliday almost gets the ball poked away, but can regain possession. Now gives it to her sister, who gives it down to Lathrop in the key. Up for two. That one will be good, bringing the score 20-21 with 2:18 left in the first half. And now we're going to get a quick foul here on the play.
Yeah, that whistle says personal space there. We have another foul on Galbraith for her second personal and the second team foul for the Broncos.
So now the Gorillas taking it down the court. And now Soliday on that right wing here. Looks for the pass. Gets it out to that right corner here, but no good. And shot's up. A little too strong on that one. And that one's just a little too far, but rebounded by the Gorillas. Now another three. coming up from Soliday from that right corner here, but that one will fall, bringing the score 23-21. And now the Broncos looking for a quick response, cannot get it. Rebounded by the Gorillas. Now driven down short corner, kicks it into the key. Shot is up for two, but that one's no good, and just a foul drawn up on the play.
Yeah, ref saw that one and did not like that one, so we have a foul against Sage Galbraith for her first personal and the 13th foul for the Broncos.
So that is going to send Schneider to the free throw line here. So first shot was up, no good. And now looking for a second shot to regain herself after that first one. And now second shot is up, and that one will fall through. So bringing the score 24-21 with 1:25 left. So now Sage Galbraith gives it over her sister Zoe, coming down that left lane here, but that one is just a little too aggressive, and looks like we're getting another foul.
Yeah, we've definitely seen stronger handshakes out here. Charlotte Soliday earns herself another foul to bring up her second personal and the 13th foul for the Gorillas.
Yeah, so Zoe Galbraith looking for a quick three here, trying to match her pace from Wednesday, but that one will not seem to fall here. And now looks to regain herself from a quick floater from inside the key, but we're going to get a foul called on the play.
Yeah, that one goes against Schneider for her first personal and the 14th foul for the Gorillas.
So this is going to send Zoe Galbraith to the freedom stripe here. And first shot is up, no good. Dribbles in but can't get out. And the sub now rolling in for the Gorillas.
That's Sam Stiles coming into the game for Charlotte Soliday.
So Galbraith's second shot now. And second shot is up off the back of the iron, rebounded by the Gorillas. And now coming down the court, gives it over to LeBret. LeBret now back up to Soliday at the top of the key. Now LeBret taking it to the top of the key. Tries to get it inside, and Schneider thought she had the ball there, but was stripped away by the Broncos. So now Galbraith almost with a shot and just tries to rip it away, but gets violated on that one.
Yeah, I think that one comes with a sound effect there. Another foul to Addie Schneider to bring up her second personal. 15th foul for the Gorillas, sending the Broncos into bonus.
So now Galbraith to the line for his second time. First shot is up. That one will not fall. Rolls around inside the rim, but just seeps its way out.
Nicole Stiles also coming back into the game for Davenport.
So now Zoe Galbraith for her second shot is up, and off the back of the iron, almost gets that one to fall too, but just bounces the wrong way, rebounded by the Gorillas. So now LeBret at the top of the key here, hands it off to Soliday and kicks it back over to LeBret on that right wing here. Now in the corner, kind of stuck in there, tries to get it to Lathrop, but can't get that one. And now we're going to get a timeout from Davenport here, so we're going to take a quick break and be back after this. And welcome back to this special KUBS basketball broadcast. And now we have the Gorillas to inbound from their baseline here. And now calling a play here and kicks it out, and maybe just a little too far, but looks like she keeps it in here. Gives it to Lathrop. Lathrop up for from two, barely inside the key here. And looks like now we're just, and last shot is up for Mendez, but that one will not fall, bringing the score 24-21, ending this second quarter action here. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for our halftime yap after this. And welcome back to this special KUBS broadcast. We're here at West Valley High School in the state qualifier, if I am right, for the Northeast 2B. So let's kick right into this halftime yap here. And so, Haley, what have you really seen out of this game?
I have seen a lot of opportunities being taken by both of the teams. I mean, we have seen a lot of shots go up here, and not a lot of them, like, they'll go back and forth a bit, and again, not all of them. I'm thinking it's a pretty low-scoring game so far. However, every missed shot is just a pass to yourself, so that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, definitely not. So, but yeah, like we said, it's definitely been a high-paced game and a lot of shots up. Pretty low scoring for a half, but we've seen higher, but it's definitely still a good high-paced game. And what matters is that it's close and definitely a physical game with a lot of fouls coming and being drawn up here.
Yes, for sure. And like, I like to see the fouls because they just like they show effort out here on the court. And so it's just showing a lot of bold moves out here from the girls. And fortune favors the bold and occasionally the lucky. So just being bold out there, trying to get the work done, that's what is going to get them far out here.
Yeah, definitely. And as the saying goes, when in doubt, box out. So
yeah, we've seen a lot of that out here tonight. They have been having to work out beyond the arc, which is always a nice, really fun thing to see because getting shots in the paint has like a lot more tension right on you, and so getting outside of the arc, you really have better odds if you have the form down. And so I think that's just really fun to see.
Yeah, definitely a pretty good game, like we've said, and reciprocated various times. But I really like to see how Zoe Galbraith has really carried her torch, I guess is a way to put it, and have really put out a bunch of good effort here.
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen a lot of like those threes trying to get taken out here from Galbraith, and so I think that's really fun to see. And although she isn't on the same streak as she is on Wednesday, she's still playing a really good game here tonight.
Yeah, and I'd like to say that we've really seen like a good like mixed pot here.
Yes, for sure.
Like we've seen fouls, obviously. We've seen a couple steals, a block or two, some good second chance points, a lot of offensive rebounds. I've really noticed that too.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to see.
But yeah, just an overall big pot of gold and just pure gold here from both teams. So I think that's a pretty good representation.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that pretty much wraps up our little halftime yap here. I am super excited to see what the second half of this game brings. So make sure you stay tuned here, and we'll be right back for the second half after this.
Welcome back to this special KUBS basketball broadcast. Both teams now stepping back out on the court with the Lind-Ritzville Sprague Broncos inbounding from the far sideline here. So Zoe Galbraith awaiting the ball to get inbounded. Ball's been waiting to get inbounded. And so it looks like refs just kind of talking over with both players here.
Yeah, I had to wait for the clock to get set back to the proper 8 minutes on it there.
So now the Broncos to inbound, giving it over. Sister Sage Galbraith to the top, in between the circles here. And now handing it back off inside the key here, up for two. That one will be good, bringing the score 24-23 with 7:47 left here in the third quarter. So now we have Soliday at the top of the key, trying to direct some traffic. Gives it over to her sister and tries to kick it back down inside the paint, stolen away. And now Zoe Galbraith hands it back off to her sister at the top of the key and up for three. And that one is going to be whistled down or out there. So looks like they're going to get a quick foul here on the play.
Yeah, we have a foul called here against the Broncos. That'll be for Sage Galbraith, and her second personal first-team foul for the Broncos in the third.
So now the Gorillas to inbound here, giving the ball over to Soliday on that right wing here. Tries to get it to Lathrop, and Lathrop trying to kick it down underneath the basket, and that one is stolen away. And now quick miscommunication here from the Broncos. Pass intended for Mendez, but she can't seem to get that one to stay inbounds, handing possession back over to the Gorillas. So now we have Soliday at the top of the key. And Soliday now driving in, kicks it back out to her sister at the top of the key, who then pushes it down to Stiles. And Galbraith inside the key now, up for two. That one will be good, bringing the score 26-23 with 6:42 left in the third quarter action. So now Galbraith handing it down to her sister Zoe, up from that right block. That one is good, bringing the score 26-25 with 6:25 left in the third quarter. So now Soliday dribbling down to that right corner here. Kicks up a quick three. No good. Rebounded by Mendez. Mendez now handing it over to Sage Galbraith. And Galbraith goes up for a quick shot, but that one's just hit out of bounds by Lathrop. And now we have the Broncos inbounding from the baseline here. So kicks it out to Stiles. Stiles now trying, or not Stiles there. That is actually going to be Mendez. Mendez getting it out to Galbraith. Up for three, no good. Rebounded by the Gorillas. Now Soliday giving it back up to the top of the key for Stiles. There she is. And now back to Soliday. Gives it up for a quick floater, no good. And looks like we're going to get a little aggressive here, but they're just going to call a jump ball. And this one will be going in the favor of the Gorillas. So we have Soliday to inbound. Gives it out to Stiles on that right corner here. Back out to Soliday. And up for three from that right wing, no good. Rebounded by the Broncos here. And that one is just a little rough on that one, and we're going to get a quick foul called.
Yeah, that one was earned. We have a foul going to Stiles for her third personal, first team foul for the Broncos. So we're also going to be bringing in Taylor Lebret.
So Lebret stepping onto the court, and now looks like we're going to have Mendez to inbound, gets it to Galbraith, and Galbraith crossing that center court, and now kicks it down to that right wing here to Mendez. And now looking here, stolen away by Soliday, hands it right off to her sister on that right wing here. Now back up to the top of a key for the Broncos, or not the Broncos here, for the Gorillas, and that one will be driving in for Schneider. Schneider up for two. That one will be good, and brings score 28-25. Now we're going to get a foul at the other end here on the Gorillas.
That one is against Charlotte Soliday for her third personal and the second team foul for the Gorillas.
So this will be sending Galbraith to the line here. And first shot is up. Or actually that one is going to be Mendez at the line. First shot is up, no good. Score still staying at that 25-28 here. And second shot is up. That one will fall, bringing the score 28-26 with 4:45 left in the third. So now the Gorillas, Soliday kicks it out to LeBret. And LeBret now giving it down into Lathrop. Onto that right wing here. And that one driving down into the paint, up for a quick floater, no good. And looks like that one's just a little too aggressive in that rebound game here with the foul coming against the Gorillas here.
Yeah, that one was sponsored by Momentum there, so that foul is against Addie Schneider for her third personal, third team foul for the Gorillas. And in place of Schneider, we're also going to be sending in McCall Stiles.
So now the Broncos inbounding here and hands it off to Galbraith in that left corner here. Now trying to kick it down, gets it to Mendez, hands it back off to Galbraith. Galbraith coming down the court here from that left block, gets the shot up, and that will bring the score 28-28 with an even tied game here now with 3:52 left. So now Lathrop, shot is up, and crowd a little displeased here on that one. But Soliday at the top of the key, and we're going to get a whistle.
Yeah, they just had to check in with the timetable there, make sure everything was looking right.
So we're going to have the Gorillas inbounding here on this far baseline, or sideline. Far sideline here. Now dribbling down, gives it out to Soliday on that right wing here. Back out to her sister, hands it off. Fadeaway three, no good. And rebounded by the Gorillas. And looks like that one's just going to be off the foot of the opponent here. And they're going to give that one over to the Broncos. So Mendez now inbounding here. Gives it over to Sage Galbraith, handing it back up to her sister, Zoe, at the top of the key. Now we're going to get a quick foul here in a dive for the ball. A little too aggressive. Looks like she dove on top of her opponent there, and that will drop a foul for the Broncos.
Yeah, that reaction came with surround sound. The crowd got loud with that one. Foul called against Charlotte Soliday to bring up her fourth personal, 14th foul. So we're also sending Sam Stiles into the game in her place.
So now the Broncos to inbound, giving the ball over to Galbraith. Now Sage Galbraith hands it over to Mendez. And looks like something happened underneath the basket here.
Yeah, we had a foul called up here. This one will be going against the Broncos. That is Ali Mendez's second personal, second team foul for the Broncos.
So handing possession over to the Gorillas now. So we have the Gorillas coming down, crossing that eagle, gives it over to LeBret. LeBret now at the top of the key, gives it to Lathrop inside. Back out for a three, no good. Rebounded by Lathrop, and that one drawing up a little momentum here from the crowd with the foul call against the Gorillas.
Yeah, that one goes to Claire Lathrop, her second personal, 15th foul for the Broncos. So now we have the Broncos in bonus, so we will be seeing them go to the charity stripe here.
So looks like that at the line here, we're going to get Rose Feedy for two. So looks like everyone getting settled in their spots. So Feedy with the two shots here. First shot is up. That one off the back of the iron there. No good. So now looking for a second shot to fall. And second shot up And off the back of the iron, almost bounces in, but can't find its way. And then rebounded by the Gorillas, and Zoe Galbraith just a little too hard on that one.
Yeah, that whistle came quick to bring up Galbraith's third personal, third team foul here.
So now the Gorillas for another chance to inbound here. Now getting the ball off properly, taking it across that Eagle logo here, taking it into that right wing, out to Lathrop. Lathrop now back up to the top of the key for LeBret. LeBret hands it off to Soliday. Soliday driving down that left lane. Shot is up, rebounded by Lathrop. Lathrop for an easy putback, bringing the score 30 to 28 with 2:10 left in this set, third quarter. So now Galbraith gives it over to Mendez. And now Sage Galbraith from that left corner there. No good for three. Rebounded by Mendez though. Now tries to kick it down to Feedy, but that one will not seem to fall into her hands. Tipped out of bounds by the Gorillas. So now the Broncos inbounding. So Galbraith giving the inbound here. Gives it off to her sister Sage on that left wing here. So now back over to Zoe Galbraith. Tries to kick it down to Feedy. And Feedy can't seem to get that one to fall. But looks like there's going to be yet another foul drawn up here on the play.
Yeah, this foul will be going against the Gorillas. That goes against Glenna Soliday for her first personal, their 7th team foul, and so we'll go to Galbraith at the charity stripe. She'll take the buckets and a bonus.
So first shot is up, and that one will fall straight in for Zoe Galbraith, bringing that score 30 to 29 with 1:37 left in the third. So second shot up, and she sinks them both. Nothing but net, bringing this score tied 30 to 30 with 1:32 left in this third quarter. So now the Gorillas trying to find a good pace here. And Lathrop hands it off to Soliday. Soliday tries to get the shot up, but just a little too soft on that one. Can't even seem to find the rim, but will fall out of bounds. So that is good news for the Broncos. So now we have Mendez taking it down the court. Or Galbraith here hands it over to Mendez. So now shot is up, no good, and this one will be now for Soliday. Soliday on that left wing here and gets it down to Lathrop inside the paint. Feeds it in, and that shot is good, bringing the score 32 to 30 with 45 seconds left here. So now Galbraith looking to get a quick response here, gives it off to her sister. And now Mendez kicks it down to Zoe. And just a little poke foul there. And that one will draw up a foul against the Gorillas here.
Yeah, that one was a low turbulence foul there. Another foul to go to Glenna Soliday for her second personal. And the 8th team foul now, I believe, is what we're at for the Gorillas.
Yeah, so Zoe Galbraith for 2 shots here. And now first shot is up. That one does sink, bringing the score 32 to 31 with 29 seconds left. Shot clock turned off now, and Galbraith for a second shot. That one's good. Now she's going to get a quick sub here.
Yeah, Harper Fody comes into the game to let Galbraith take a breather.
So the Gorillas taking it down the court. Soliday picking that left side here. Now kicks it back out to her teammate, LeBret. LeBret now trying to find a pace here. Tries to get it to Lathrop inside the key, and looks like a dive for the ball. Scramble on the ground, and we're going to get a jump ball here on this one. This one will favor the Broncos here. So quick sub rolling back in.
Yeah, they got to roll Galbraith back in here in place of Mendez.
So now Galbraith handing off to her sister. Shaw's up for a last second before the third quarter ends, and that one's no good from Zoe Galbraith. So after this third quarter of action, the score is tied 32-32. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to this special KUBS basketball broadcast, and we just got a quick note that the Galbraiths are actually cousins and not sisters or twins here. So now the Broncos here or the Gorillas here to inbound, and now handing it off to over to Stiles, and that one's tipped out of bounds. And Stiles is going to inbound now. Davenport maintaining possession and gives it over to Soliday. Soliday back up to LeBret. Now back over to Stiles, dribbling out to the top of the key. Lathrop back out to LeBret, up for three from that left wing there. And that one is no good, and rebounded, an offensive rebound here, but we're going to get a couple whistles here. So that's going to turn the ball over to the Broncos. So we have Mendez inbounding here, and now handing it off to Sage Galbraith. And now handing over to her cousin, Zoe. Now giving it back over to Sage. And now giving it into the paint here, feeding it to Galbraith. And now dribbling back outside the paint to that right wing here. And tries to kick it down, gives it over to Sage. Shot is up for three. No good, but we're going to get a quick foul called here on the play.
Yeah, the floor just took some damage on that one. We're going to have that foul called against Zoe Galbraith for her fourth personal and the first team foul of the quarter.
So the Gorillas now inbounding, crossing that center stripe there. And now giving it over to LeBret. LeBret kicks it back out to Soliday on that right wing here. Lathrop now dribbling down inside the key. Shot is up, no good. And now rebounded by Sage Galbraith. Kicks it down into that left corner there for Lobe. And that one is no good from the shot. Rebounded by the Gorillas here. Still remaining scoreless in this fourth quarter of action here. So now Soliday at the top of the key gives it over. Back out to LeBret. Up for three, no good. Rebounded by Soliday, doing it herself. Gives it down over to Schneider. And we're going to get a quick foul here on the play.
Yeah, that one does go to Schneider for her fourth personal and the first team foul for the Gorillas. And we also have Zoe Mendez coming back in for the Broncos.
So Broncos to inbound here. Gives it to Sage Galbraith here now. Dribbling down the court, crossing that Eagle logo. Handing it over to Mendez. Now stolen away by the Gorillas here. So now we have LeBret taking it down. Gives it back out to LeBret on that right wing here. Dribbling down and stripped away from Schneider the ball. And now the Broncos to take over here. Gives it over to Mendez. Mendez now kicking it out to Sage. And Sage tries to push it into her cousin Zoe Galbraith. And cannot seem to find her. So now we have Zoe giving it back out to Sage. So now Zoe Galbraith taking it down. Tries to kick up a floater, but just a little too soft on that one. It comes up short. Still remaining scoreless in this fourth quarter action here. And now.
Yeah, you had to pay tax on that one. That needed to come with a passport from Glenna Soliday.
And right as I said it, they is no longer scoreless. Soliday from that three there. And an immediate response from the Broncos here on that right block, bringing the score 35-34 with 4:40 left in the fourth quarter action. So now Soliday, to do it herself, puts up once again another three, and now Lathrop not able to maintain possession here, and now kicks it back over to that left wing here. Stolen away by Zoe Galbraith on a fast break, and she gets that one to fall. That will bring the score 35-36 with 4:15 left in the fourth quarter of action here. And we're going to get a timeout, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to this special KUBS basketball broadcast. We're at West Valley High School for the state qualifier with only 4:15 left and only 1 point difference between these two teams. So the Gorillas now inbounding, gives it over to Soliday. Soliday now kicks it back up to the top of the key for Soliday. And now pushing it down to that right wing here, or right corner, I should say. And that one almost hit out of bounds, but saved, but stolen away by the Broncos. So now Sage Galbraith kicks it down to her cousin Zoe, and Zoe tries to get it out to Mendez, but looks like we're going to get a foul drawn up on this play here.
Yeah, this one will be going against Glenna Soliday to bring up her third personal and the second team foul for the Gorillas in the fourth quarter.
So now we have the Broncos inbounding and kicks it back out to Mendez at the in-between circles here. Now handing it over to Zoe Galbraith at the top of the key. Tries to push it to Mendez on that right wing there, or left corner, but cannot seem to get that one to fall. Turnover to the Gorillas here. So now Glenna Soliday kicks it back out to Charlotte. Charlotte short corner, right short corner, and that one's no good. Rebounded by the Gorillas though. So top of the key here for Charlotte Soliday. Dive for the ball. Charlotte tries to get it off to Glenna, and gets it down to Lathrop. Lathrop from that left block. That one will sink, bring the score 37-36 with 2:52 left in this fourth quarter fourth and final quarter of action. So Mendez now at the top of the key, hands it to Galbraith, kicks it down to Sage. Sage now handing it over to Mendez. Mendez inside the key, kicks it back out to Sage, tries to get it to Feedy on that left block, but can't seem to get that one. So now we have Charlotte Soliday there, handing it off to LeBret, taking it down, back up to Glennis Soliday, and down into Schneider. Schneider up for two. That one will fall. Breathen scored 39-36 with 2:04 left. And that one a little too short from Galbraith there. Rebound snagged away by Charlotte Soliday, now handing it off to Glenna. Glenna now giving it back over to Charlotte. Charlotte at the top of the key in between circles, handing it back over. Now just kind of passing it back and forth, trying to waste some clock here with only 1:40 left. But 6 seconds on the shot clock, and deep three up from Soliday. That one's no good, rebounded by the Broncos. So now Zoe Galbraith trying to go for a quick three, and that one's no good, rebounded by the Broncos. And now we're going to get a timeout, so we'll be back after this. Welcome back to this special KUBS broadcast. We're at West Valley High School for this state qualifier. 1:22 left in this fourth and final quarter of action. And this is going to be the Broncos inbounding here. Gives it out to Sage Galbraith. And now down to Feedy in that left post there. And doubles tipped back in. Stolen away by the Gorillas, though. And now, first three for them. Taking it down the court here. And gives it to Glenna Soliday. Down to Lathrop. Lathrop back up to top of the key here for Soliday. And now driving in. Shaw's up from that left elbow there. No good, rebounded. But stolen right back away. And now 38 seconds left. Only 8 seconds differing the shot clock and the game clock here. And now Soliday at the top of the key. Gives it down to Glenna. Driving in. Glenna Soliday up for three from that right wing there. That one will sink. Fadeaway three from Glenna Soliday. That one will find its way to the basket for an and one call, with the foul being drawn up against the against the Broncos here.
Yeah, that goes to Sage Galbraith, the third personal, second team foul. So now we get to see an and one here.
And one is up. That one will sink for Galbraith here. So now there is 7 points differing this game. So now Mendez gives it over to Galbraith, and looks like we're going to get a quick whistle on the play here, and foul drawn up.
Yeah, that goes against Glenna Soliday. Now her fourth personal foul to bring up the Gorillas' third team foul.
So now Zoe Galbraith, inbounding from the baseline, kicks out to her cousin with only 8 seconds left. Shot clock turned off, and Zoe tries to go up for it, and just 2 seconds left. A little short on that one, and this game will be in the hands of the Gorillas here. So your final score, 43-36, and really high action-packed game here. So, Haley, you got anything?
Yeah, it was a super fun game to watch here. I loved how close this one was, right up into the very ending moments here. And so I'm super excited to see the Davenport Gorillas make their way to the state tournament now. Unfortunately, Lind-Ritzville will have to go home empty-handed, but that was a great way to end off the season here for the Broncos. Really fun game here. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I hope you all did too. Make sure you catch us tomorrow because we will be covering the championship games here to crown our first and second as well as third and fourth place teams here for the league. And so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining us tonight.